What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back to ServantKing TV. I'm your host, Servant King. Here on the Servant Real. Y'all know what we do. We talk to the entrepreneurs, the creators, the people walking in their purpose. We pick their brain. We talk to them about what they're doing and what they got going on and what some of their goals in the future. And today I have a very special guest with me. This young lady is a serial entrepreneur. Every time I see something, she got her hands in something else. I'm going to let her kind of break down what it is that she's doing, some of the things that kind of got her to where she's at and kind of got that mindset going. So without further ado, Miss Whitney, how you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me. So my business is, like you said.
Well, wait, first.
Oh, okay.
Tell me where you from, how you grew up.
Okay. I'm from Virginia, the DMV. And I moved to Jacksonville about 5 years ago, but I went to high school here and then moved back to Virginia. I joined the military while in college. I don't come from much, so I've just been on a grind to make sure I have me join the military. And got out of there by the grace of God. I did 4 years. I was able to then finish and get my degree. So I'm the first one to get that in my family, and from there, I kind of got introduced to a brand called Herbalife, and that's kind of how I got into the mindset a little bit more. But if I could go back to being a little girl, I've been having this since I was a kid.
Right. So let's go. So you graduated high school and you went to college first, or you went to the military first?
I went to college.
Went to college first, and what was your major?
Oh, I didn't have one.
Okay, so
I had no clue what I was going for at first, and then I changed, and then I did major. My sophomore year, I picked social work. I love working with kids, and I wanted to work at-risk youth and battered. But I did like a little volunteer, and I was like, oh no, I can't bring the people home with me. I can't bring the people home with me, so I couldn't. They don't, they also don't pay enough for me not to be able to bring them home with me and have all my emotions wrapped up. So a little bit after that, I joined the military just because I couldn't pay for school. I mean, life was just hard.
So when you got in the military, so when you joined the military, it was just to kind of offset school?
Yeah, actually, I in my past life, I was married. I am divorced, but his dad was a retired, and he set us down one day, and I had, those conversations you have with God, and it's like, what? Like, this is crazy. I've been working since I was 15. Something's got to give. And his conversation was literally like, you be grinding and you don't have nothing else, or not nothing. And I'm like, I feel you. I know. And so that was a Saturday, and then on Monday I went and signed up for the military. I felt like God was talking to me, like, there's your answer. So yeah, I went and did that. And that was February of 2009 is when I left. And in the military, I would never have chosen that job again if I know what I know now. But just joining, it's not something that can transfer into civilian life. But it still was a good stepping stone. So I got school paid for. I get disability forever. And
I got you. So it was a win.
100%. Only out here for W's.
I got you. So when it comes to entrepreneurship, you said ever since you were a little girl, you had that mindset.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Were like your parents entrepreneurs? So was it something you seen and you said I want to follow it, or was it something you didn't see but you was like I want to go for it? What did the mindset come from?
So I can only think back to the first time I ever tried to make money with my friends. We thought we were gonna go to Apollo, like do a dance, that we had made up. So we came together and was just like, okay, we're gonna do a car wash. I think I was in maybe 3rd or 4th grade, and we didn't ask our parents or anything. We used somebody's water in our neighborhood, and we got some signs. And anybody that drove by was just like, come get your car.
Right. I got you.
And we did. We made money, but not enough. So then we just split it between the two. But things like that is just how I've always been. I'm always trying to do something. Even just at school, trying to get money for the a la carte line in high school, and I would draw pictures that say, somebody's boyfriend plus somebody forever. But it's because I could draw or ask me.
Right.
So a little bit of money because I have 40-cent lunch.
Right.
I'm trying to go
exactly. Yeah, I got
so I've always had that in me. But my dad is an entrepreneur. entrepreneur. It's just that I didn't realize that until later in life that's what he is. He's a DJ. I don't think anybody ever respects that he's that is 100% what he
self-employed.
is. And he works in times we don't, but as a kid, I didn't realize that. I just know as a kid I determined, the college, it wasn't really self-made. It was more so I understand what this person has and my parents don't have and what I want to have. Those kind of connections I made on my own.
Okay. So now let's take it from you leave high school, go to college, you go to the military. Now you say both of these, military you knew wouldn't work. But at what point did you say, all right, I'm gonna try my own thing. I'm gonna take it back to what I learned, what I experienced as a little girl. When did you say, okay, I'm gonna try that? I'm gonna step out on the limb and try this entrepreneurship thing.
So with military, I really didn't think that it was or wasn't gonna work. It was just something I didn't want to. Like in my head, it was like, dang, why everybody else gets to be a civilian and live this independent life, and I have to go here to be able to afford school and to be able to afford a car and to be able to afford adult life. So I knew I didn't want to do 2 years. I really never committed to that, but I also didn't. I was committed to my 4, my first 4, but I didn't even have to do that. And I think that was my obedience to what I prayed for. But it was more so that while I was in the military, little things came about. So I started, like most people, MLM, right? And so and then I had to let them know, like, your plan isn't as great, And then I got introduced to Herbalife a little bit later. So I did do jewelry. I had my own jewelry business, and that was successful. I sold, it wasn't ever LLC'd, but I made them with my own hands. So that was kind of like in between that. But Herbalife, I would say, is really what put me in that mindset of personal development to let you know what really a self-made millionaire is, and really, like, it's us.
Herbalife, is that the name Jim Rohn? Jim Rohn used to talk about. Okay, I hear him talk about it all the time, but I didn't know.
So they have a good marketing plan. MLMs, it's what you kind of make it, but every one of them, I can't say that I support. They have a good marketing plan. I don't have to have stuff on my show. So I don't got to go broke before I make some money.
Gotcha.
And I actually use the product, so it's easy. I'm not selling. That's how I feel. But what it introduced you to is personal development. And so that personal development every day was important because you're listening to people who help you see what you really can.
That makes sense, because that's what Jim Rohn talk about. It's always personal development. Yep. I just never knew what Herbalife, how he blended the two.
Yeah, I mean, and they're really big on that being a part of your lifestyle. So, like, introducing yourself to even just 30 minutes a day, just eating. I think the first book that I read when I started Herbalife was Tyrese's book, How to Get Out of Your Own Way. Okay. And that was, and Tyrese.
Exactly.
But it was life-changing, honestly, so I do recommend that book to anybody. But that was kind of like, okay, you got to make some changes, so you could really do this regardless. I really made money with.
Okay. So, are you still with Herbalife, or are you kind of?
So I am not a active coach, we'll call it, but I still have my products. I still get my discount, and I still would always support and recommend it.
Okay. So let's talk about that transition to the brandingness.
Yes.
Kind of tell the people what that is.
Okay. So actually, before we even got to the brandingness, I got out of the military. I was in the DMV, and I needed to figure out what I was going to go actually get. Like, I finished my my associate's degree, but now it's time to go to get my bachelor's. What I'm going to go for now. Right now, it's on me. So
by the time after you get an associate, you didn't have to pick.
Well, so you don't even have to go get a bachelor's, right? I have my associates, and I mean, I done with that paper, but that was my main goal from even joining the military, to get the paper for my sisters, all of that.
Gotcha.
And so the bachelor's degree, that was my main goal. I just at this, so it's not like my parents are saying college or anything, or what are you going to choose to do?
It's an adult decision.
Yeah, and I felt like if I'm going to go for what I want to go for, I'm going for that. So that's what I did. I went for fashion merchandise. And while there, in the DMV, it's like, that's the business side of it. So I fell in love with that. I will volunteer and do backstage, and I started, so I would produce my own fashion shows up north. and I've gotten paid for it, which is awesome. It's amazing. It's kind of like it's not a business. It's like a hobby. You know, it's like a baby that you get to see come to life, and it's an amazing feeling. But it's a lot of work. So doing that is how I kind of got into making from an agreement to flyers to websites. I did all of it. And so because I did all of that, it was like when I came here and I'm just working, I mean, at ADC, I have my degree, all these things. I'm just trying to make money on the side. I watched my mom clock into 2 jobs my whole life, and I refused to clock in 2 jobs. Like, have to be at, I'm good with the one, but to have to clock into that second place is beyond me. I just can't handle it. I could do Shipt, I could do Insta, I could do all those things. But I'm not clocking in on someone else's time. Right? So making the money on the side, I don't think people truly realize like that. Even an extra $20 that you love, extra $20 didn't clock in for. So even if you want to go spend it on food, that was passive. You know, like that was more passive than going to clock in and sit at that desk, right? So I kind of did it. Like I was just like, hey, let me just, make a website, because I quit my job. I woke up 2018, January 1st, and was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I can't go to ADT no more. Like, I just can't do this. And I had some stuff already set up, like subscription. My son was 1 at the time, so I'm like, I don't want to subscribe in years when I don't need this schedule. It doesn't make sense anymore. Gotcha. So what am I going to do? So I did. I went to go get some IT. I made good money real quick, like, a couple weeks. But while doing that, you're in how am I going to feed us and take care? So I did Shipt when I could, and then I kind of just bartered with those. Like, I would like, hey,
so you was kind of hustling.
Website, so that I could pay my bills. Right. And then it was like, oh dang, somebody will pay me to do this when I think y'all could do this yourself. Right. Because I'm not coding. I have a whole shirt that I don't know if you've seen it, but it says, "Of course, someone that codes," because people always ask. I can't even afford someone that codes. But if you wanted to sit down and do your own website, you are available to go do it. But if you don't want to, that's why I'm here. And I got kind of confident in that, and my prices, went up. I developed a whole plan, and it's like I do something you don't do. So even logos, if you really want to know, I create every logo on my phone. Every single one. They're unique. They're intricate. Like, every single one of them are created with my 2 fingers. On my phone, and it's still my time, and so I've made that into a business, and there you have the branding nest. Oh, okay, I got. So now you got the branding nest. This is working for you. It is. It's kind of passive now. So like now I don't really promote it too much. I kind of got to that point where it was like I've raised my prices to where I want them. Will recommend people to me. It's not something I want to do every day, all day. Right. So I don't want to promote it that way. My main source of income. It's cool with making the money as the Okay, so go from the branding nest, and now what I see you in is mobile home space, right? Think we very, very rarely do people think when they think real estate, do they think mobile home? The first thing we think is that's a trailer park or something like that. Right. But it's obviously, and my first guest, Mr. Pac Jams, he's in that space. But what made you say, okay, mobile homes is my next move? This is something I wanna tap into. So before ever moving to Florida, wholesaling real estate is what I got. And so me and one of my friends, we would go to meetups in Virginia all the time. Honestly, like the meetups. Probably the best place to go, but we were learning it on our own. And so it was like, if one person how to get to the close. Okay, so y'all wasn't with a teacher or a coach. Y'all was going together. University. Gotcha. Exactly. Okay. But it's like, gosh, if I could just get one person to teach me how to execute one deal. But I couldn't find that one person. Even at the meetup, want you to pay or, everything, or even they might not be even doing deals, So I know success is track. So if I'm going to follow you, I need you to have already
done that. Absolutely,
exactly.
Absolutely.
So I ended up getting divorced and everything, and I was kind of burnt out at that. So kind of put that to the side when I moved here, and I was pregnant and things like that. So the wholesaling thing has always been something that's like what I'm like real estate. I understand that this is how you do it.
Absolutely.
This is how you build this generational wealth.
Absolutely.
And so I got the opportunity by someone here named Kara who has the Buy Back the Block.
Yep.
And she gave me the opportunity last year. So at the end of last year, she gave me the opportunity to just learn from her. Okay. And so she got me to that point of understanding the clothes. That's great. But there were still things I needed to do for me, like as far as just time management and, you know, life now, right now, with all the things I have going on. And I didn't close the deal. And I didn't get discouraged, but it started coming up on my Facebook, like Trailer Cash Academy. Right. Trailer Cash Academy. It'll probably come up on yours now.
Right. Exactly. Okay, they listening.
Exactly. So, yeah, Trailer Cash Academy. And then I just started YouTube. Okay. And I will watch all of their videos. And it still was to get me to the clothes, but I understand the value of a mobile home. Right. Because when I moved from Virginia to here, in 2016, that's what I lived in. I decided to live in a mobile home because I'm like, I'm not about to pay up north prices, and I'm going to these apartments, and it's ridiculous. Right. Absolutely. And when I drove through this one mobile home park before knowing anything about a Trailer Cash Academy or anything, it was like this. The basketball court has hoops. It's a nice playground, nice community center, nothing.
Why you think they don't show that a lot? Because that's something you have to see for yourself. Like, there are nice mobile home communities, but the only ones we see
mess up the game. Like, all these apartments will be out of business.
Right.
Like
if people see how nice a mobile home is.
Mobile home is the true affordable house.
Right.
You know, I had a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, a little yard. Like I said, the community center, pool, all of that. And I pay $60.
Right.
I don't have to tell my son to sit down.
Right.
You know, this is my house.
They under you.
Exactly. This is my own house. Honestly, the neighbors are nicer than even in houses I've lived in, right? It's like a community. So I think that's why that's part of my goal is so that I really do show people this is the true affordable housing. And rather than pay $150,000 for a house, you could go pay $150,000 for a brand new mobile home plus land.
Right.
Now you actually have real estate because it isn't considered real estate, so don't get that one twisted. This is a car. This is like a car until you go put it on land. But still, it's still so many things you can do with a mobile home, whether always make sense. So it's just an easier flip for me. And the demand is there.
Right. So let's go into process. You ain't gotta go too deep. Okay. We don't get no game with.
All right.
Okay, so me looking for a home, right? Wholesaling, I ride around, find a abandoned home, board it up, I find out the owner, try to get a buyer, connect the buyer to the seller. Is that the same process with a mobile home? Is it kind of different? How do you?
The same. Okay. It's just easier to close because now we're dealing with like.
Gotcha. So you don't have as much paperwork.
You don't got as much. Yeah, you can literally close it in a week. You know, like, and get that.
Are you into the rentals, creating that passive income? You in the flip? You in all of it? Whatever's best.
So right now, me and my boyfriend have a rental property in Lake Butler. So it's a mobile home. Gotcha. And we bought it for $1,500, and we're rehabbing it so that we can either do seller finance.
Bring in that. Exactly. So what's the goal? Do you have a like, is it I want to own 100 mobile homes, I want to own a mobile home park, or are you just kind of taking it, going to take it day by day, however it comes, y'all going to handle it?
So I'm thinking it'll be day by day. I'm always going to be looking for a deal. Okay. But I think the main goal would be able to, have a mobile home. And more so where it's not a park. I would rather it be lands and all of it be divided up. I was listening to someone on Clubhouse the other day, and that's how he, like, you buy a whole bunch of a big piece of land. You drop the mobile homes on there, but make one of those separate.
Okay, so
now you have a house and a land, and now you're
like my own yard type of deal. Okay.
Exactly. And now you're going to pay me the property of that, or the value of that.
Right, as long as they pay.
Exactly, because land is always.
I think it's good y'all in that space. Because I don't know if you ever heard of Mobile Home Elite, but those are like the only two people of our community that I ever seen in that space. And then when they talk about it, I recall they said that Warren Buffett owns like the second largest.
I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's an industry that we're not tapping into.
No, the return on the investments are over 100% ROI.
And you can't beat
like
that.
You can't beat that.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
And I mean, to find them and go forward, there's so many places. I mean, I've driven for dollars, but it seems like everyone is driving for dollars and looking in the same bando spots.
Right.
And that's kind of difficult where I'm not necessarily looking for a bando.
Right.
Looking for a mobile home, and even to rehab it costs less.
Right.
Because it's the materials, and you fix what's broken. That's what we do, right?
What's that moving process like? I hate being behind one of them trucks with a mobile home moving.
So that I have steered away from until I can understand that completely too. Because even if I wanted to wholesale that, you got to think about it like, okay, there's a house here that maybe is $10,000, but if that's a single wide or a double wide, that's the price that it's moving. So how am I gonna tell you, okay, now you need to pay $15,000 so I can make maybe $5,000 off of it, right? So the seller wants 10, and I'm gonna put it online for what, $5,000,
so
but they still have to get it moved.
Right.
That doesn't look appealing to them. I still got to pay $5,000 to $8,000 or $3,000 to $5,000, $5,000 to $8,000 for a couple waters. Move to my land.
So the moving process is still on your
right. No. All those kids are going to always go towards the buyer.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you wanted to make it that way, but you don't have to.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay.
But Trailer Cash Academy, they are also a husband and wife.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Jay and Samir Harvey. Okay. Look them up. I like them. Okay. But I actually invested there.
So yeah. Man, that's good, man, because like I said, that's one of those industries that I think it's obviously a big one, but it's not talked about, it's not glorified as much as the multi-families and the duplexes, but that mobile home is some hidden gems in there.
It is, and I think that our people need to I mean, I've seen a 5-bedroom, a double wide with stainless steel everything, backsplash, I mean, they... See, I wouldn't even think... That's my challenge to everybody then. My challenge to everybody is to go to... There's one over on Normandy, like a sales for new homes. Oh, where they sell them. Okay. The newer ones. That's my challenge. Walk into a new one, then you'll understand value.
Right.
Because if you see one that's... The newest one that I saw was 2019. And I was like, 10.
Right.
And hardwood floors. Bathroom was, I mean, incredible. The closet was walk-in closet. I mean, almost
room.
Right. And shelves for your stuff. Like it was a Kim K closet.
Right.
A jacuzzi tub with a stand-up shower that has glass doors, double sink. Like I said, an island in the middle. Stainless steel, everything. Enough space. Right. It looks just like the cookie cutter houses that are being built up that are single.
Right, and those are 4-5 times.
Correct. So I challenge you to go look in a new one, because then you think about like that it's hard. That's what most mobile home, which I did as well. But even if it's in a mobile home park and not on land, it's a land. But if it was in a mobile home and not,
I got you. Okay.
Even if it was in a mobile home park, so you got to think like the one that I lived in, at least 30 years old, and they're still renting it out 30 years later for $650-something. So if you bought you a brand new one, even though it may not appreciate in value, it still makes money.
It can still make it cash flow.
Yes.
Right. And the rent price going to increase regardless. As inflation go up,
correct. And yes, don't get that twisted. While I lived in a park, my rent is
absolutely, it's going to go up. It ain't going to stay the same. Right. Okay. All right, so you're in that, you're in the mobile home space, and then recently I seen you stepped into now the vending, the vending machine space, which I think is another one of those industries we see them every day. We put our money in them every day.
Oh my God!
And we never stop to say, who own that?
Yeah,
somebody getting that.
I think we all assume that Coke and
right.
Owns their own, right? And we don't even think twice. No. But now that I'm there, I look at every vending machine. I mean, the one at the skating rink got stopped. No,
I'm seeing it. They putting laundry detergent. With
the PPE stuff, the personal protection that's at the airport, that belongs to somebody that is like us with the company. Right. So how I got into that was me just knowing I wanted to give my son one at 7. He's 5. And that was really as far as that I just wanted to help, with what I'm trying to teach. But I figured, I guess I do have to know how to do this before I just hand him a vending machine, at 7. So I figured, why not? And so I looked on YouTube, and it was a girl named Jazzy. She's from Virginia, actually, but that was just by chance, and made it sound super easy, so I did what she said.
And they talking about she gave me the game about going to get the LLC.
Yeah, she gave me the game of getting the LLC. She actually took you with her, so in her pocket, you couldn't see nothing, but you can hear her talking when she walks into a business. Okay, so she kind of let you hear the negotiation. She let you hear the script that everybody wants you to pay for, right? So that you're just walking in, and the worst thing somebody could say is no. Right. They say, yeah, you go bring that candy machine in real quick, and what candies do you want, Right. She explains to you about the commission side. She explains to you, for the larger full-line vending machines, don't buy one of those until you have a location. The candy machines, you can have those, because it's kind of, you need to have those on hand. On hand, somebody asks, you already put them there. Okay. But, those types of things, I'm in vending groups now on Facebook. People ask those questions every day. Hey, and it's like, I just went to YouTube, and now I just share the video when people ask me. I just go share Jazzy. Right. Shout out to Jazzy, but that's really how it started, and I make logos. So there you go. Okay, right. Okay, got you. Yeah. So now you're able to blend the business. Yeah. Right. So it's a couple of things you said that I want you to speak on. I think people should hear this before. First, you talked about YouTube. Right. Now, we had a whole conversation about college. And not one time have you said anything about what you learned in college, which I'm pretty sure you've used some things in life. But for the most part, your journey has been YouTube University. You even spoke to putting yourself in Facebook group, networking. Talk to me about how important that is, putting yourself in position and not having an excuse. Because YouTube is on everybody's phone. So you don't have to pay for 4 years of schooling on YouTube, no matter 99.9% of whatever you want to do, somebody is on YouTube doing it. If not, Google has an answer for it. Talk to me about how important that is and how effective it's been for you when it comes to learning business. Very important. As you can see, so I pay for school. I have debt there. Even as far as learning and paying for different programs. Like I've invested into Taylor Cash Academy, but there's years. Right. I invested in lower because I'm gonna have to make more money before I can just keep getting this analysis paralysis. What I can that it's called. Right. Where you kind of keep getting information before you move. Right. I got you. I also know that I'm not the YouTube person. So, like, to answer your question, I have no clue why most people don't implement it, but they will go to the tutorials, their makeup, and right. I'm not that person. Right. I do not have the capacity. Like, my brain is not about to pay attention for that long to learn how to do a hairstyle, a makeup thing. I don't want to. Right. So maybe that's where that comes into, that some people just would rather watch for that. Maybe that goes along with me not liking small talk. Because I like to get to the real, the business. Like, let's talk about real stuff, the small talk. Right, the YouTube videos, like the tutorials and things, I'm not really here. But I will go do what I go look. The Success Leaves Tracks. Herbalife is really what taught me that network, your net worth is, based on your network. What people are discussing that. I'd rather be the broken out of the group if that means everybody else paid, So, wow. Even understanding, like, I can't ask my mom if I worked very hard, not to knock at all. Absolutely. But she can't give me the info I need, so I have to go to the course. Absolutely. I can't also, and the analysis paralysis thing is, I got to jump off the porch, or I keep paying someone to tell me, to show me, or whatever. Even just most things you can find on the internet. Agreements.
Right.
Templates on Google, everything agreement, and I just switch it up, you know, send it through DocuSign, and that thing is legal.
It's crazy because we have our phones with us every day, all day, and we do everything on it except learn. We do makeup tutorials, we do be comedians on social media and all that, but we don't.
And I think that most people forget that, like, okay, maybe the makeup thing you went, and that is the business you started based on learning that, right? But then there's other parts of it. Like, I have gone to school, and the merchandising side does come out. So that's the business side of fashion, all the way from sourcing from China to right here. You know, like, y'all can't just start a business and not know anything about marketing and not know diddly squat about ethics. You know, like, y'all have to go learn just a little teeny bit because social media is real, and I'm not even an expert at that. But there are things that I have to look up in order to promote my business efficiently. Right.
But is it important as you speak to analysis paralysis? You can't wait till you have everything.
You're never going to have it all.
You're never going to have it. So
that's me in the whole, how do I get to the closing part?
Right.
I'm still kind of there.
Right.
But I paid that money to Trailer Cash Academy.
Right.
And listen, I'm not paying no more till I close. I have some on contract, right? And I'm working on getting them closed. But I can't pay them to really hold my hand because I don't think that's what I need. I think that each step, I have to kind of fail forward is what I can do. So that jumping off the porch is all I'm trying to do because I feel like if I just get to the one, the steps of knowing or asking as I go, I don't even know what questions to ask until I get to it.
Right. And by the time you close that first one, you'll be to learn so much.
Exactly. I might be able to.
You have your own Trailer Cash Academy. You'll be teaching. Right.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So we before we go, kind of speak to the thought process behind generational wealth. I think that's important. I know spoke to this, and I think our generation in particular, we kind of noticing that, you know, it's nothing against mama and daddy, but they don't know. They didn't do it. They
have a worker heart.
They have a worker,
so they don't get it.
So we can't ask them everything. This is the kind of that point where we kind of detach. So where does that come from for you? That you spoke on wanting to get that vending machine for your son and to get him started on that process. Where did that come from? How did you do that?
I just mindset. So everything that I have to learn as an adult, I don't want my. And I still will say that that's Herbalife too, because how you eat. You know, it's a lifestyle. They're not just
right.
It's really a lifestyle change. So they're teaching you to clean in the most simplest way.
Right.
And so at my house, my son eats celery and peanut butter as a snack, and he likes it because that's what I eat. Right. So I don't want to get him accustomed to.
Yep.
So he gets snacks. Don't get me wrong, but it's in moderation. Right. So like even McDonald's, you know, Fridays is when he gets.
Right. You're eating every day of the week.
Yeah. He can get it on. So we talk about that in here. I do affirmations before he can talk. And watching him do those things, like, so before he could speak, that was what I said I would do. Because affirmations, our mind is so powerful. Right? You change your mindset, you change your life. But I had to learn that as an adult.
Right.
I don't want him to have to learn that as an adult. That's such a simple concept. So I affirmations to him before he could even talk. When he could just say some words, he put I am in without me having to tell him.
Right.
Now he just
it's just normal.
And when I do them, and we do them every night. So that's just one part of it. But the other part is like, why at 15 does he have to get a job to work all summer, the car or whatever, when I could just like I was telling someone whose son is 15, I was about to pay someone $150 to wash the mobile home. They have a pressure wash.
Right.
Her son is 15. Right. She's saying, I'm telling him he got to get a job, you know, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, well, why don't you tell him to go get the pressure washer and make a flyer? I'll make him a flyer real quick, you know, and now he just go post it everywhere. $150 for customers later.
15, that's rich.
You know? I mean, if all through your summer you spent maybe 4 hours of your Saturday, 4 hours of your Sunday, and now your friends who are working all 8 hours of that day, you still just made more.
Yep. And you worked a lot less.
You worked a lot less. I would rather teach my son that. I'm not going to make him go to college. I am the first one to go, and that wasn't a compliment to me, but I don't want to dwell on that. That even that's on his tax.
Right. We've already paved the way.
Yeah, I don't want to have to keep like making my baby fight against hard. That's always they're just trying to get out of something.
Man, well, I sure appreciate you. You definitely got your hands on in a lot of things. Oh, you want to come talk with me? Come chop it up with me, bro. We can talk business,
Come
man.
chop it up.
Come on, bro. You sure? Man, all right, bro. I sure appreciate y'all coming through. I appreciate you coming to share some game with you. That vending machine and mobile home thing is something that I think we see every day. We pass it every day. But we don't tap into it enough, and it's a $1 billion industry.
There's money coming in, right? The average millionaire has 7 forms of income.
Right.
And nobody said you had to be sitting at a place. You know what? Rather than teaching my son to sit and sell some lemonade, that still took time that he had to sit right there.
Absolutely.
And that matrix that Robert Kiyosaki, that just tells exactly where you know where do you want to be
working for money, putting your time in.
Even that is your business, right? The lemonade stand is your business.
Right.
Sitting there to sell that lemonade. Without you sitting there, that lemonade sits there too and makes you nothing.
Right. So
I don't want him to be that way. I don't want it to.
I always want to say you're not really making money. You're making money.
You sleep. Royalties are king.
Yeah. And I thank you. So tell everybody where they can find you. If you want to. No, you say you're not really promoting branding, nothing like that.
Yeah. But, so you can find me. I think the easiest one is maybe KDS Spending. So KDS Spending on IG. You can look up Trending Nest on Facebook. That is there. You can always find me as well just on Instagram at Carter's.
All right. I sure appreciate you. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And thank y'all for tuning in to this episode. I really appreciate Ms. Whitney coming in. Hope y'all learned something. As y'all can see, vending, mobile home, branding, that's anything that you want to get your hands on, you can do by simply just going YouTube, Google, being willing to discipline yourself and learn what it is that you're trying to get into. So, appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all next week.